So we're here in Torrevieja today with all the latest news, and yeah, it's finally going to happen on the 2nd of April if you're going back to the UK. And of course, what's going on with Ryanair? Oh my God, it's just getting worse with fines and everything. So we've got a lot of news to catch up with today. Tuesday morning, Costa Blanca, 18 degrees, the sun's out. So let's crack on with the news. And we're also going to be taking a walk along the Promenade as well. We're going to be talking about houses going on auction for €10,000. So yeah, make sure you watch it to the end. So much going on this sunny morning in Spain. So if you're aware, as you're from the EU, we've got the new EU permits. The ETA's coming out in June because it keeps getting delayed. But the UK's beat us to it, of course. And if you're from the EU and you're going back to the UK, you're going to need to apply for this before the 2nd of April, the ETA, which is the new Electronic Travel Authorisation permit. And it applies to all EU citizens. If you're thinking of going to the UK, England, you need to get this because they won't let you in. And the only people that don't need to get it, of course, is the Irish. And so they're the only ones that are exempt from this. Everybody else will need to get it. For short stays or less than 6 months, you're going to be needing this ETA. It doesn't matter if you're just going for business or whatever the reason you're going back for, tourism, whatever you want to go to the UK for. You need this ETA permit, otherwise you ain't going to be getting across the border. Basically, it's exactly the same sort of system as what is coming here in June. The ETA's all the same, really. It's all security checks, your date of birth, your criminal record, and it's going to last for a couple of years, so you ain't going to have any problems to keep reapplying for this permit. And you're going to need to get this ETA 3 days before you actually get your airline tickets. That's what they're saying. It doesn't matter if you're a baby, child or whatever. Whoever's going through from Europe into UK definitely won't be allowed unless you get this permit. So you need to get it ASAP because April's only around the corner. 2nd of April, that's when it all kicks in. And if you want to know how to apply, it's simple. Just go on the gov.uk website and fill in the application. It'll cost you £10. And if you don't get accepted, you won't get your £10 back. But what they're saying is this ETA authorisation permit just lets you come and go as many times as you like, up to 2 years. Of course, as long as your passport ain't run out, so then after the 2 years, you'll have to reapply for the new permit. So yeah, £10, children's, babies, adults, wherever it is. And that's just to get to the UK. And of course, we've got our one coming here in Spain, into Europe. And that ain't gonna be long now. It's been put on the shelf for a long time because of all the systems in the airport have got to be all updated and everything. But they're definitely saying around about June, they'll be coming into force. Meanwhile, Ryanair's back in the paper again. Yeah, they are talking about giving out fines for mistakes with check-in and late check-ins. So yeah, we're going to have a chat about what's been going on with Ryanair. And they're talking about fining people €100 if you're not at the airport early enough. And they're saying you've got to be there 2 hours before your flight. So yeah, it's not just that as well, because if you're late to your check-in, 40 minutes before you check-in, they're saying there's a €100 penalty. And by the way, that's per person as well. So if there's a family of yours and there's 4 or 5 years, it'll cost you €500 penalty. Crazy. But they were talking about as well about this boarding pass. Everyone had to have it on their phone, but they've delayed it now. They're saying at the moment you don't have to have your boarding pass on your phone yet. It's delayed to November. And of course, if you miss your flight and have to book another one, they're talking about it's going to be a €100 fine as well. They like the figure of €100, don't they, Ryanair? We got a €55 one here, and if you haven't booked in online and you had to do it at the airport, it's going to cost you €55. So if you want to avoid all these fines, make sure you get there 2 hours before you're due to fly and be at the boarding gate 40 minutes beforehand, and make sure you check in online. Otherwise, it's going to cost you a few quid. Yeah, this next story we got is if you're after buying an electric car here in Torrevieja, Spain, they're going to give you major tax reductions. Starts next year, 2026, all electric cars and hybrid. They're also saying as well, all the classic cars over 25 years, you're going to get a massive tax reduction of that as well. And you're looking at up to 75% discount vehicle on tax in Torrevieja. So yeah, that's pretty good, isn't it, eh? I'm not sure about getting a full electric car. Let me know what you think about these electric cars. All I hear about, they're catching a light. But yeah, I think you can't go wrong with an hybrid. You're right edging your bets there. You've got your fuel and you've got your cheap electric that kicks into gear when you need it. But yeah, putting all your eggs in one basket with an electric car can be a bit dodgy, especially if you can't find a charging point. We're up on a Torrevieja Promenade. As you know, these sheds are slowly getting moved, and they need to move it till they finish this big project here, which are going to show you what's been going on, because we're not got long now. Up to July, it's all going to be open. More bars, more restaurants, cinema, and more parking spaces here in Torrevieja. As you can see, it's come along pretty well now. They're just putting the walls around the sides of the building. Looks like they've done a bit of the floor space. But it is manual, and they better hurry up and get their finger out the backside, because July will be here before they know it. So yeah, these sheds slowly getting moved over to the water park there, just for a year while they finish doing the underground pipe work just there. They've already moved a few. A lot of them are not open at all. I'm going to take a walk along the promenade. As you can see, look at that, eh? 12 o'clock, sun's blue sky, and everyone's out and about in March. But the Spanish government are saying they're going to start auctioning off these houses for 10,000 euros. And it's all to free up the market. As you know, the tourist market here in Spain are taking all the rental properties up, and people can't get on the ladder at all. They're saying it's all to provide more accommodation, affordable housing options. The Social Security Department announced that it will be auctioning 300 properties all across Spain at very competitive prices, and basically anybody can apply for one of these auctions. They're going to auction as long as you meet the criteria, and yeah, 10,000 euros these properties are going to be going for. Some are going to be having mortgages with them as well. So yeah, they're saying what you do need to have a copy of your passport and have money to pay your deposit if you do bid for one of these properties. Of course, it all gets included in the price, but some of these properties are going for crazy prices. I mean, they're going in all different areas of Spain. This one's in Leon. They're going to expect to be around 5,000 euros. Got another one in Sierra Spona, and they're looking around for 60 square metres of a property there. Sort of about 10,000, and then they're talking up in Alicante around about 12,000 euros. That's for a 50-metre square. And then we're going to go down into another, and then in another area of Cordoba, they're looking about 6,000 for a 40 square metre. So yeah, not big areas, but yeah, cheap as chips, isn't it, eh? And 300 properties are going to be in this auction house. But when you do go to the auction, they're making aware that these properties, some of them might have mortgages on them as well, and all kind of other things going on. And you've got to square off what's owing, I suppose, on these properties. So yeah, there is always a catch in there. And all this is to get people on the housing market and give them some property because of the shortage. And the tax breaks they're giving people are for people that are going to reduce their rent. For the people that are renting the property, and they'll be given like less tax to pay for it. They're already saying this ain't enough. They need to do more because they're a big problem here. It's actually scaring people away from places like the Canary Islands and that, with all this tourist protest going on. And it's even gone up to Barcelona now. So all these big cities are all crying about the tourists taking up all the rental properties. So yeah, they haven't given us a date yet on when these auctions are going to be taking place. But yeah, 10,000 for a property in Spain. Yeah, we're just walking along here on the old promenade, as you know. Beautiful day, and we've met one of our subscribers.
Nice to see you.
And I see you, what was it, last at the meet-up, wasn't it? YouTube meet-up, yeah.
My wife
Oh yeah, that's what I remember, yeah.
No, I'm visiting. My wife's not here at the moment.
Oh, you're just visiting?
I need to
Okay.
get a bit of sun.
Oh, how long are you here for?
Only a couple more days.
Couple of more days. So you're backwards and forwards all the time. And where are you from?
Cheltenham.
Oh, Cheltenham. Big festival today in Cheltenham. Yeah, the old big festival. Yeah, I love old Cheltenham. Yeah, best day of the year for the old horse racing.
Yeah.
And nice meeting you anyway.
And you?
course, it was talked about before, this next subject, and it's about animals being registered in Spain, your cat and your dog, and it's all got to be microchipped with all the details of the pets' names. Hello, well done. Yeah, I think I bumped up to you last time, didn't I? Yeah.
Gave us a key ring.
Yeah, that's it. You must live up here.
Well, we spend quite a lot
Yeah.
on the Xenia and all that.
Yeah.
lot, but,
It's best place. I mean, it's well busy, isn't it, eh?
Yeah.
12 o'clock, got a nice bit of sun, blue sky for a change.
You can't complain at that, can you?
No.
No.
I mean, we were moaning when it was 18 degrees. I mean, it's probably like a heat wave if you're back in England.
Yeah, I think the temperature's about
So you,
7 and 1 for us.
yeah. So you're still watching all the videos, yeah?
Absolutely.
Keep
All
up to date, yeah.
Keeping us up to date every day, so
With-
listening to them.
Good news and the bad news.
Well, there is a lot of bad. There was some bad yesterday. Some elderly people got mugged down in Xenia.
Yeah, I know. I'm hearing about it all the time, all around Florida, or Costa. They're just ugger muggers. Every minute you're hearing about it. Not everyone puts on the social media groups, but they do, pick their targets. And
We're coming into the season now.
yeah, mugger season, yeah.
Well, we were over in Ibiza last week.
Yeah.
For 4 days, and it was iffy at night time.
Yeah.
Really iffy. They were coming out begging and a lot of people.
Yeah.
The drunks and all that. Walking into McDonald's.
Yeah.
And lifting all the food up that was
Ah,
left
that's
over
not good, no.
And begging, that's how bad it was.
No, I went to Ibiza. I didn't really. It was a nice little bit where we was. We was on the quiet side of the island, but they called it party capital, didn't they? Drug capital, more like it.
No,
But
it's not
yeah,
bad.
and it's all teenagers. Yeah, it is a bit rough and ready. I didn't really like it.
We were in an hotel right at the front, lovely.
Yeah.
Big, massive balcony, and a bloke come by, asked me where I'm from, and I said England, right? And he pulled out his cannabis trying to sell it.
Oh my God, yeah, that's the problem. Yeah, we were walking around along the Promenade, and we must have got approached about 4 times if I wanted any drugs.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, we don't get offered here. What a sad thing, eh? I thought I'd get offered a lot of drugs along here today, but no, it's pretty safe, isn't it, Torrevieja? But yeah, you can't go wrong here. I mean,
Buzz about it here.
You can get high on the bus watching some of the people as well.
yeah.
We're just saying, the tourists and the locals.
Yeah, of course. But yeah, anyway, nice meeting you again. Take care, and don't forget to tune in later. See you later. So yeah, back to the pet and dog register. Like I say, it come in immediately, so it's coming to force. It's not exactly compulsory yet. They're still having debates about it next 2 or 3 weeks. They're talking about it and trying to finalise the details. But the idea is to have this register, of course. If your dog goes missing or gets found on the street, and cats as well, it's all about the abandonment of animals. So where people just decide to go back to England or whatever and chuck their animals out, they've got this register and they can just track the animals. Which isn't a bad thing, is it? I mean, most dogs have got chips anyway, but it'll all go on a national register here in Spain. Anyway, it's a big day here in Spain, as you know. 11th of March, 5 years ago, that's when they announced this big pandemic, the WHO, COVID disaster, and we were all in lockdown. But yeah, a lot of the leading experts, so they say, very unlikely that we're going to be in the same situation again. I doubt it's because we've been jabbed and the 3 jabs we had to have. I don't think that's anything to do with it, whether it's actually made any difference. But they reckon we need to be on our guard anyway. I can't see them being able to get away with locking us up in our own homes like they did, while the government were having a jolly up party every week. And people couldn't even go and see their loved ones at the funerals. And yeah, absolutely mental. Can't believe we went through that period of lockdown for so long. The crazy thing is, everywhere around the world, they all had the same plan, was to lock us down and make sure that we were under control. Proper government powers, no freedom at all. I reckon just before this March the 11th, I reckon just in a week, 100,000 inhabitants here in Spain, 4.1% of them were infected with COVID. And that was 900 people that actually died in 1 day in Spain because of this COVID. Yeah, around the world, 777 million people got infected with COVID and over 7 million people died. But what they're not actually telling you is a lot of them didn't just die of COVID, they died of pneumonia and a lot of other things. As you know as well, COVID is just another form of bad flu. And of course, the old were the one mainly got affected, the most vulnerable and elderly, who weren't strong enough to fight off. But interested to know how many people would have died normally without COVID from the flu and other kind of illnesses. But yeah, they're saying 7 million people died because of COVID. But yeah, strangely enough, the old experts saying it's never going to happen again. And all we keep hearing about is all new variants out of COVID, more deadly than the last one. Of course, a lot of scaremongering. I think everyone's just got fed up with it now and just got on with their lives. But yeah, the experts are saying the next 5 years from now is going to be about a learning process and all the experiences we had from COVID pandemic. It's like talking about the war, isn't it? Pre-COVID, after COVID, during COVID. So yeah, I don't know what you thought about this COVID and whether you've had your injections. All I know is we had to have 3 here in Spain, otherwise we weren't allowed to travel, leave the country. So you had to have all your certificates. And of course they brought in the crazy law here as well. You had to have the certificate to prove that you've been jabbed, otherwise you weren't allowed to go in any bars or restaurants. So yeah, people that refused to be jabbed who weren't leaving the country, they weren't allowed to go and have something to eat or even enter a shop, bar or anything, unless they had a daily certificate, which was about €30. So they had to visit the old health place and get regularly tested to prove they haven't got COVID. Absolutely bonkers. Just can't believe we all went for it. Busy here, isn't it, eh? So another busy day here, Playa de Cura Beach. So yeah, this is all the latest news we've got for you today on the Costa Blanca, Torrevieja. If you want to check out my next video about retiring to Spain, yeah, check out the video there and find out where's the best place to retire. And also, if you want to live on a camper park, and it's cheap as chips, believe me, and it's right here in Torrevieja, check out the video there. I hope you enjoyed today's video and let us know about today's subject. And make sure you keep getting jabbed with the COVID, even though they reckon it ain't never going to happen again.